Welcome back to Coos Bay. I'm Baldy Build Cities, and today we're going to be finishing up the industrial expansion and our new downtown construction. For the time being, right now, we still have a lot of problems, but at least financially, the city's doing okay. And we are going to go ahead and give the industrial area a look first. Okay, so now I'm starting to get concerned because nothing is zoned in for quite a while here. It seems like we're probably not going to pull up any demand. So let's take a look at taxes and high-skilled labor availability. Okay, we're probably going to have to build a high school at some point here to kind of get us there. Unfortunately, we really don't have the money for that. So first what I want to do is I want to relocate this transformer station out towards this riverbank. This would be valuable land, and we absolutely don't want to continue wasting it on, my brilliant decisions from episode 1. And then at that point, we can start zoning in. I'm thinking that we'll probably put the high school somewhere at the foot of the hill, imagining that eventually we're going to end up developing residential areas up on the hill itself. So I'm going to back that transformer station out. I'm going to fill in these blocks with roads the way that I want them to be. I'm going to leave some space up here for a high school, and then we'll start zoning in after I finish up this waterfront. And I'm glad I removed those trees because that fire is coming roaring down the mountain, and it would have been a real shame if we ended up losing our entire industrial area too. So now with this initial zoning done, I'm noticing we don't have any real demand for high density residential. We've got tons for low and medium density. Hopefully that if we fulfill that demand, we'll be bringing in some high skilled labor, which can fill up the plants that are very much struggling to fill their high skilled jobs. Even well educated jobs are tough right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through. I'm going to use the Southeast USA low density residential for this neighborhood. I really like the low density Southeast USA residential. And then I'm probably going to make Ashburn Street up to Briarfield Street. Again, the name has changed again. That drives me crazy. But I'm probably going to change that to I'm probably going to keep that at a higher density. And while I'm zoning in, there are two things that I want to point out. First of all, this block here between Brookhaven Street and Caraway Street, I plan to reserve for park space. I'll probably also reserve this slightly oddly shaped park between Ashburn Street and Holly Street for park space. The other thing is that I would like to add a couple of larger medium density buildings to this area, so we're going to go with a 4x4. It's going to be one of the tallest buildings in town. But right now we've got some residential demand, and we know that we need more housing so that we can fill some of these jobs. So just last episode, I was complaining about how the demand meter doesn't seem to be all that interested in unemployment rate. Apparently, that's because the market considers 22.8% unemployment to be low, which is ridiculous. But right now, we are really completely unable to pull any demand for anything. So I want to look at the demand meters for each one. Maybe it's just because I've done such a poor job of... Okay, so the happiness is cited as a problem, high crime risk being the priority. The fact that I have not replaced that police station is coming back to bite me. Brilliant decision. Everything will be fine. We can just ignore that. So, since we're running a good surplus right now in the budget, we are going to take out a loan to do this. Obviously, this could start a pretty nasty death spiral if I don't pay close enough attention to it. But for now, should be fine. We're going to go to the small police station again, and we're going to go back into our budget because I remember changing this. And we are going to bump up our police and administration budget all the way up to 100%. Hopefully that $88,000 is enough to keep us safe for now. We'll see. I'm not sure. But for the time being, we're just going to wait and hope that we get some things zoning in. Okay, now I'm noticing that we still have a ton of medium residential demand, and we also have a little bit of commercial demand. So we're going to try and add a node of commercial in here. We're going to go with the Northeast, per usual. See how many we can get. Only one. Oh well. For the time being, that's fine. And then we're going to add in a couple more row houses. And we will... Oh, I did not mean to put it that far back. And then we're going to add a Northeast medium density housing building. Or two, apparently. You know what? I'm going to select this building. I know that these have some variety. I'm not sure that it's going to put down the building that I want. So... let's go into our residential Northeast medium. And then that is a really tall building. I don't want anything quite that tall, but that's exactly what we're looking for. So I'm going to place that, and I'm going to lock the level for now. We may unlock it eventually. And then we'll add one last row home on the end. Excellent. Still waiting for some of this low density to zone in. Let's see if there's anything we can do to help promote that. Right now it's just about taxes and unoccupied buildings. Okay, well, I am going to try to decrease our taxes on the industrial one more in the hope that we can drive in some traffic. So we continue to only really be able to generate any medium density residential. Oh, did I place mixed? I placed mixed housing. Oops. I meant to place regular Northeast housing. But anyways, we really only have demand for medium density residential. I've never actually had this issue before in a game. I guess I ran the taxes up a little bit too quick in this one. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to pick out a couple of smaller Northeast residential buildings. Maybe, you know what? Let's keep zoning in back here. I'm going to zone in some more of these row houses in the hopes that we can at least get through to the next milestone without waiting too long. So I looked back at this and I realized that I gave no explanation as to what was going on here, but I discovered that we had some industrial demand, wanted to take advantage, and then I saw that traffic was starting to build up on the highway, so I decided to expand the number of lanes. So now, since we don't really have any demand for low-density residential, I'm going to clear out a couple of these blocks between Umber Street and Elm Street in the hopes that we can add some more row housing in here. So I'm going to start out by clearing the lot as it is, and then I'm going to zone in more of this North American medium-density row housing. I'm going to leave some space in between them. So now I've also realized that I really haven't left enough parking, so I think we're going to turn this block between Hemlock Street, Ashburn Street, and the highway into a larger custom parking lot, just because, honestly, I can't imagine many people are going to want to live right next to that, and I've already filled out a bunch of it. As these blocks fill in and we give our demand a little bit of time to stabilize, we're going to come back over to the industrial area. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to do. First, I really want to fill in some of these empty spaces. I can't really imagine a reason why not. I may fill them in with parks. I may fill them in with additional industrial buildings. But I want to fill them in. And I also want to make some of these surfaces a little bit more uniform on each block, assume that they just kind of paved over the whole thing. And yeah, we'll add some props and decals and such to make it feel a little bit more realistic. Now, with the majority of our industrial area polished, I'm going to check our unemployment rate is still really high. When you look at the job openings, there's still about 500 job openings, which is a little bit concerning. But I think I'm going to leave it as it is for now. And we're going to come over to here because this episode is already starting to get a little bit longer than I had intended. I've already replaced a lot of the Southwest U.S. assets with just the vanilla North American assets, because I just generally find that they are a little bit better of a fit in a really strict grid like this downtown. But what we're going to do is we're going to add some development here, probably with a signature building. We're going to expand some development out here. We're going to add a park here and probably add a waterfront walking path along the river. Other than that, we're probably not going to develop too much more in this episode. This one's already getting away from me again. So we're going to jump right in with the development of this block. As I'm sure you saw there, I'm already suffering the consequences of using anarchy, which I should not have done. Imagine having an office all the way up at this top floor, you worked your way up the company, scammed a bunch of people, and now you get to view the landfill. Hopefully it's the garbage company that takes over that office. now we're going to go through and we're going to add a park inside of this block. Like I said earlier, I was going to reserve this for park space. We're going to actually develop that this episode. This game hates me. Area bucket is crashing really badly for me, so I'm just not going to use it. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to build an amphitheater here, but I'm going to save you the pain and suffering of watching me figure out the line tool for the 18th time. And there we go. Now we have a nice little seating area in front of the stage. So now I'm going to start experimenting a little bit with the static ploppable service buildings. I want to try and get some additional leisure attractiveness in this area. Now we're going to take a moment to learn from our mistakes here and remove some of these trees that would absolutely decimate our city if we were to ignore them. So I placed this fire station in the hopes that eventually we'll redevelop this lot and justify the city building a bigger, better fire station further away from downtown. But for the time being, I'm going to add some paths, some gardening, make it kind of like a park. So now there's one last bit of development that I want to do before we call it a day on this episode. I want to take this waterfront area and develop it into a path. I'm going to put down a pedestrian path, add some foliage and trees along the path, and then I'm going to also add some rocks in the water to provide a little bit of protection from the current to make sure that we don't lose that coastline. So I'm completely out of money, so we're going to take out another loan so that I can place more trees. Now that we're done developing this riverside walk, I'm going to go through and add a handful of trees in the areas where we don't have any. We're nearing the end of this episode. I'm also probably going to fill in this area here with some trees. Obviously, we're going to end up clearing them soon. As you can see, I've already spent 20 of the $100,000 that I took out in the loan, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that while we're at it. So we're going to end this episode here in a very similar situation to last time, with a looming debt crisis rolling in on the city, a gigantic fire rolling down on the new development that we put into the town, and with a monstrous unemployment rate all the way up at 22.4%. So in the next episode, I swear, the next episode, we're going to resolve that unemployment rate, and hopefully we'll develop this block out here where we're going to have our first real train station. Honestly, that's probably a little optimistic. I think we have to solve the financial crisis before we can build a whole new service with our public transit. But if you stuck with me for this long, I appreciate it. I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.